I hope my voice is carrying sufficiently to the back. If not, if people will stand up and wave and say that they can't hear me, that would be much appreciated. For those that I haven't met before, I'm Michael Starrett, Chief Executive of the Heritage Council. My role here this morning is very brief. It's very simply to welcome, it's to remind you all to switch off your mobile phones. Is to very briefly welcome you before introducing the Minister. But Minister, it's a great pleasure that you've taken the time out of a hectic schedule once again to join us. Distinguished guests from ICOMOS International, you're very, very welcome, and John has decided to sit in the front here, but he's observing and will be reporting to you later on. Chairman of the Heritage Council, Council members, friends, colleagues, you're all very, very welcome. Lest we actually forget, we're actually here today to celebrate World Heritage Day. And most importantly of all, I think to focus on the absolute and utter imperative of engaging fully with communities in all the work that we do. That requires a very particular skill set, and it needs modern and innovative approaches. And that's why it's particularly pleasing that we have such a broad representation, not only from an international field, but also from the local community field, and the experts that are charged with responsibility on behalf of a range of organisations. We will hear over the course of the day absolutely excellent examples and demonstrations of just what is possible. No one, I hope, doubts the capacity of communities across Ireland to contribute, nor their generosity, nor their commitment, nor their knowledge of what is their heritage. What I have to say, and this isn't starting off in a negative way, is that I doubt to some extent at present is our capacity to tap their potential fully. And that will be a recurring theme that I know that Conor will pick up on, and I know that in conversation with the Minister over the time of since his appointment, that he's very well aware of that fact as well. There is undoubtedly currently a structural and a resource deficit. Our approach nationally is undoubtedly too fragmented, mitigating against a much more integrated approach. This has, and I've said this before, and the Minister is very well aware of it and has been championing the cause, this has allowed disproportionate cuts across the sector. I can speak for the Heritage Council, which has seen its budget go from 20 million to 6 million over 3 years. We can no longer service, there aren't the resources available to service the very carefully constructed infrastructure, unless, to put it in pure business terms, we can start to grow the business again. And I am absolutely convinced that we will, and that we can, and that today will encourage us all to go away emboldened again with the task that we have to actually make sure that communities and their capacity to help us is actually used and the potential can be tapped and effectively put in place. Leading us in that is our current Minister for Arts, Heritage and the Gaeltacht, and I've known Minister Deenahan during 2 periods in government, which has been an absolute privilege to work with him. But more significantly, I'm very well aware, through his involvement with his own local community down in Kerry and Ristole in particular, of his commitment and his energy in terms of the involvement of communities in this process. So we have a Minister who gets it, and that in itself is something that I think that we can all feed off. Minister Deenahan, you are very welcome here today. The podium is yours. Thank you.